The next four skills may not be to everyone's choice. They are Oxygen Bubble, Soul of Fire, Nullify Poison, and Heart of Steel. They are the four elemental immunity skills an archer could have. The fifth element is obviously Earth, and that's Sand Shield, but only a wizard can have it for some strange reason. These skills usefulness and which one you should get or which ones you should get varies from server to server. The ones I have on my Vitality Genie is Oxygen Bubble, Soul of Fire, and Nullify Poison, and I'll just talk through them in order. Oxygen Bubble, in my opinion, is along with Soul of Fire are the two most useful elemental immune skills. The reason I rate Oxygen Bubble highly is that two magical DD classes deal water damage, wizards and psychics. Half of psychics skills are water, and like a quarter to a third of wizard skills are water based. So that's like Gush, Black Ice Dragon Strike being the main one, and Glacial Snare. If you use Oxygen Bubble and say a Psy try to use that water freeze, I don't know what it's called, but it's like an AoE frontal freeze. And yeah, if you use Oxygen Bubble, the Psy cannot freeze you, so because it's a damage dependent freeze. So that's something else to bear in mind when come to choosing. It helps with survivability quite a lot, because that's the two main magic DDs. The other one that's really useful is Soul of Fire, and this one, unlike Oxygen Bubble, is only useful against Wizard, because that's the only class that deals primarily in fire fire damage. Pyro, Divine Pyrogram, Ember Storm, although that's not really a DD skill. Blade Tempest is half fire damage. Will of the Phoenix, I think Crown of the Flame, although I don't see many wizards use it. But yeah, I think about a third to half of all wizards skills are fire damage. So yeah, and the number one way a wizard kills you is with a Undying and Spark combo. By Spark I mean the Genie Spark here, with the high dexterity Genie. If they do like Undying and Genie Spark on something like an 80 or 90 dex Genie, then your fire resistance is going to be pretty low. And say they go Undying, Force of Will, Genie Spark, Sutra, Divine Pyro, Will of the Phoenix, Divine Pyro, all in 6 seconds on literally no fire defense. It doesn't matter how many defense levels you got or how much HP you got, you're probably gonna die to a rank 9 plus 12 wizard. I mean, rank 9 plus 12 wizards can bring down a 35k HP Catabarb with a Sutra Spark combo, so a 15k HP Archer is really nothing. Soul of Fire resists counters against that combo pretty well, because it resists against all fire damage. If you use it wisely, you can resist every single Spark combo they do, because Spark has a 40-second cooldown, whereas Soul of Fire only has 30-second cooldown. So every single time they Spark, you can Soul of Fire, and yeah, it would really help against wizards, but the downside is that it doesn't help against any other class. Yeah, the next one in terms of usefulness, in my opinion, is Nullify Poison. It's anti-wood, and the two classes that deal in wood damage are Venos and Mystics. Majority of both of the classes, majority of their damage comes are dealt with wood damage, so having Nullify Poison would make you immune against those classes. Aside from that, stunning scarab thing, I don't know what it's called, but that Venos have that stuns you for 2 seconds. Pretty much all of their damage is wood based, and same goes for Mystics. The two scarabs, the two skills that those classes spam are like Venomous Scarab, I think it's called, and Nature's Vengeance. And if you use Nullify Poison, they just cannot do damage to you. And Nullify Poison also is immune to the seal and freeze from Nova Power something Nova, that the Venos 2 Spark OT, and the seal, the 30% seal something that Mystics have. I don't know what it's called again, or what's the proc rate, but yeah, if your server has a lot of rank 9 Mystics or rank 9 Venos, or even highly refined Venos or Mystics, then Nullify Poison is a great skill to have. The last one in terms of usefulness, in my opinion, is Heart of Steel. Even though 3 classes deal metal damage, Seekers, Clerics and Archers, I just feel as an Archer it's not as useful as, say, Oxygen Bubble or Sword of Fire, and I'll tell you why. Seekers only have a few skills in dealing metal damage, so it's not that much of a problem. And let's face it, the number one way Seekers are gonna kill you in terms of endgame PvP is probably a Goth crit on Genies Slash, and that's physical damage, so Heart of Steel is not going to help you there. Clerics spend most of the time healing and being cute and singing songs and stuff like that, and not DDing, so Heart of Steel, it's pretty useless there, especially in TW when any decent cleric should be healing. Archers, even though Archer versus Archer, some Archers like to use their meta combo, its use is still limited in my opinion, because evasion and you can click magic defense charms, and if the opposing Archer sees you use Heart of Steel, after the first time they're probably gonna know, and they're going to bait you into using Heart of Steel, which costs energy, and then it's gonna stun, quickshot you, or just quickshot you, or something like that. So, and that will kill you pretty quickly, regardless of your sharding, if Demon Quickshot procs. So that's why I don't think Heart of Steel is as useful. But again, Heart of Steel, like all of these other skills, are dependent server to server. I mean, if you have a lot of metal mages, or your server's archers like to spam metal skills, then Heart of Steel might be right for you. And similarly, if you have a lot of Venos and Mystics who PK, then Nullify Poison might be right for you. But overall, I think the 2 useful elemental immunity skills are Oxygen Bubble and Sword of Fire, just because Wizards and Psychics are the 2 primary magical DD classes, and Sword of Fire immunes against the Wizard's deadliest combo of Spark. And so yeah, part 2 is going to be on situational Genie skills. If you guys could let me know what sort of skills you like me to cover, that would be great. Just leave a comment below. I've drawn up a provisional list, but I might be missing some skills that you guys might want me to cover, and that falls under situational. So that's skills that could be useful in some situations, but could be not very useful in some other situations. Feel free to suggest them, and if I think they're suitable and qualify under the situational tight kind of bracket, then I'll include them in the next video. I hope you guys found this helpful, and see you soon.